G'day guys and welcome back to Digger Gaming. My name is Ben or Bannett. But yeah, welcome back. It's been a little while. Took a little bit of a break just to see what I wanted to do, and I think I've got a little bit of more of an idea of where the channel's going to go. Probably have a few more interviews and stuff like that, and probably my own little docos and stuff. Today, however, I thought it'd be interesting to look at a World War II video for the troops on how to crack tanks. So thought it'd be interesting to see how that has changed over the years, considering the armor levels, the technology that's changed. I dare say the way they used to crack a tank back in World War II would probably not do much damage to even a light skinned vehicle these days. But let's have a look. It's old, it's pretty funny, but it's still informative and it's a bit of history. So let's have a look. Alrighty, so as we can see, Crack That Tank by Periscope Film. So it's there's a lot of old footage if you want to have a look at Periscope Film stuff. I'll put a link down below again. A lot of cool old footage like this. But yeah, let's have a look at how they would destroy a tank back in World War II. I'd say it'd be very different to how we'd have to destroy one today. Alright, so I've got no idea what these tanks are. I think one's a Panzer. Maybe you tankies out there, let me know.
Those tanks look kind of tough, don't they?
A little bit.
I guess you think you wouldn't have much of a chance up against those babies.
I don't know.
You're wrong, see? Now get me straight. They're tough, all right. I'm a tanker myself, and I ought to know. But don't get the idea you can't handle those blitz buggies just because they're big and they make a lot of noise. Actually, you guys got the edge on them if you know how to play your cards.
I'm going to stop already and just say, mentally, I think a tank on the battlefield coming after, if you, as an infantryman, mentally, getting attacked by tanks would still be terrifying today as it was back then. However, yeah.
Shouldn't be telling you this because I'm a tank man.
Oh,
What the hell? We're all playing on the same team, ain't we?
don't. He's a tank man.
I figure a tanker knows more about tanks than anybody else. We
True.
know where they're strong, and brother, they are strong. But we know where they're weak, too. That's what I think you guys ought to know about. Even if I do give away some trade secrets. Okay. What is a tank? Well, you might say it's a GI can on tracks that carries a lot of firepower. Its job is to smash through you guys. Rip you up so you'll be duck soup for the enemy infantry that's coming on behind the tanks.
I mean, you can even see the armor. They're starting to slope it here a bit, which most modern tanks have, I think. But yeah, it doesn't look like very heavy armor. And I think even like our 66mm rocket, even a 40mm would probably punch through. 40mm would probably punch right through that. But yeah.
Your job is to smash that infantry. Now, you're not out there to fight tanks. You're out there to fight foot soldiers like yourself. So you have to roll with the punch when those tanks power down on you. Meanwhile, if you knock out a few tanks on the way, no one's going to bawl you out for doing it.
I think if you did get a tank kill as an infantryman, you'd be the opposite of getting chewed out for it. You'd be probably praised a little bit.
Now, this is about the way the job lines up. You knock out as many tanks as you can, and at the same time, protect yourself so you can mow down that enemy infantry. Tanks got weak points like anything else. The track is one of them.
Yeah.
A mine or a shell.
So I had to stop it there. I was just speaking to a tanky who let me know probably the only weapons from World War II that could destroy tanks back then, that would destroy anything even close to an armoured vehicle these days, would be the mines. yeah, anything else would just not have the stopping power. I wouldn't like to be the infantry with a tank advance, having to try and pick between, do I kill a tank or do I focus on the infantry? I suppose you do what you're told.
Or a lucky hit with a grenade can blast off the track. The guys inside, a busted track in battle is usually good for a $10,000 check to the folks back home. Sure.
So that would be a mobility kill, as I'm sure a lot of you will probably know and tell me. But a mobility kill in a tank assault while you're sitting out in the open, aren't you? So enemy tanks get sight of you, you're buggered. I'd be getting out of that thing in a hurry and joining the infantry.
Sure, they still got firepower left, but they can't move. And when they're standing still, they make a target that's hard to miss. Here's another weak point.
Sherman.
We don't see too good out of these rolling pillboxes. So we keep the flaps open down here for the driver and the hatch open for the tank commander. That is, we keep them open if the enemy's dumb enough to let us.
Look at that Mardeus.
If he's half smart, he'll turn a stream of rifle or machine gun fire at us. Then we gotta button up. And we don't like that, because that leaves us practically blind.
Right, yeah, so on that note too, I'll stop it. My limited knowledge of tanks is that back then, like, we've got systems now like Crows, remembered it, and just general battlefield space. You know where your mates are, you know where the enemy is. You can drive a lot better. Here you're literally peering through little slits, as you can see. Yeah, we've come a long way. So there's a good example there.
You see what I mean? Okay. Now we got a weak point in our tracks, and we're 3/4 blind when we're buttoned up. Here's another weak point. We're big, and we can't hide. So we gotta plow through and take whatever they heave at us. And believe you me, it's no fun sitting in one of those hot boxes with that stuff pouring at you.
We've got air conditioning these days.
Listen to that. That's enough to make a man nervous. Brother, they ain't cream puffs. We're a hell of a good outfit, just as tough as they come in any army. But we don't like being shot at any more than you do. And figure it this way. We're a lot easier to hit than you are.
Righto, Tanky. He's an unhappy Tanky. Doesn't like the infantry. You got to remember too, Allied tanks were severely outgunned and out-armoured by both Russian and German tanks. Russia and Germany had some massive tank battles though. Like, that would have been crazy to see. Yeah, let's continue with angry Tanky here.
For a minute.
What is that?
Sees when he bears down on you. If you're the kind of foot troops you ought to be. Nothing. That's what he sees. Absolutely nothing. Just a lot of real estate. You're there, all right, but you're tucked away in a foxhole. And, brother, that's the place to be. He can't see you.
Roll straight over you.
Hell, they can't even hurt you when they run over you.
I wouldn't want to test that.
Of course, there's one way you can get in trouble. That's if you get yourself in a lather and start to hightail it. And that's just what those Nazi gunners are waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Machine gun material there. Right, so a valid point I have to bring up. I don't think we would ever see engagement distances with tanks and infantry this close. Modern systems like javelins, NLAWs, hell, even Carl Gustav's, some of the modern rounds that they have for them, the engagement distance is going to be a lot further. I don't know exactly how far a javelin can fire, but it's quite a distance, and it's locked on too, so...
Remember that picture when you get itchy feet.
Mm.
Make a break for it and you're a dead duck. Not only that, you open up a hole for the enemy infantry, and those rats know what to do about holes. Okay,
Plug him.
that's what not to do. You stick with me, and
What
I'll
do-
give you the real dope on what you ought to do.
Come on, Tanky, what do we do?
Now, take a look at this German tank outfit. They're coming your way, so you got a job to do before you get back to that dame in Brooklyn. They're still 2 or 3 miles away. You can't even see them yet. But remember, you...
So, yeah, 2 or 3 miles away. Alrighty, so yeah, a javelin can hit up to 4.75 kilometers away. So that really changes tactics from, you know, obviously from World War II. And I think we're really seeing that tactic change in Europe at the moment. When, yeah, tank assault have just become I wouldn't say they are not really, I wouldn't say they're not required anymore. It's still definitely required, but you need the infantry support, the artillery support. But when you can pick them off at, you know, 4K away with a good team, that's you're not going to be seeing stuff like this, obviously.
Playing on a big team, soldier. And you got lots of stuff working for you.
What
That
stuff?
reaches out and hits hard.
So,
Our dive bombers going into action.
yeah, so dive bombers and artillery, depending on the size, it was 155, and depending on the size of these bombs, would still probably have a go at some of the tanks. I mean, all tanks are known to be less armoured on the top, hence javelins will come up and smack on the top. So yeah, it would be interesting to see. They'd probably fare alright, but I can't imagine they would do too good against a squadron of bombers, dive bombers, and artillery. And the old tanks certainly wouldn't have.
It's our heavy artillery. They're just getting the range. There goes one of our mines. And there goes one of his tanks.
I guess mines are still important.
That flat tire. Yeah. Our gang's gonna knock out plenty of those tanks before you ever see them. The enemy knows that. So he sends over enough to be sure that some of them get through. Now,
What a
here's
way
your
to
first
fight.
sight of them.
That's a lot.
They look harmless that far away, don't they?
No?
They're just getting in good range of our anti-tankers now. Sure laid it into that baby.
Pretty sure that was a 20mm, and that would probably punch through some armor. You'd have to be pretty lucky to get a kill, but to demobilize it, you could probably detrack it, I guess. A lot of these heavier weapons would probably affect modern tanks. I don't know if you'd fully kill them, but yeah.
You guys got a lot of stuff pitching for you, all right? But you notice some of them are still coming. Okay, now you can start working on them. You see those lugs sticking up out of the hatches, don't you? Well, make them button up. They're close enough now. 400 yards. Well, suppose they are 500. That's the idea.
Button up!
Ducking in. Now make them button up those flaps. There they go. See them slow down right away? They got to. They can't see worth a damn, and
That's a small gun too on that tank.
keep that rifle up there. See these things? Those are what he looks through. The periscope and the vision slits. Get enough small stuff bearing on those places and you blind them almost 100%.
Alright. One, I think that's a pretty silly tactic. You're going to waste a lot of ammo. Probably better to save that for the infantry. But that tactic 100% would not work. No, I don't know. There'd some big rounds back then, I guess. 30-odd 6 would probably crack some glass, but probably not the driver's seat glass. That'd be pretty reinforced, I would imagine. Again, tankies out there, let me know.
Okay, that's your first job. Button him up, then work on his vision devices. Now he's getting plenty close. Plenty. Where's that rifle grenadier? Oh, yeah, there he is. Now, these rifle grenades are nasty damn things. As far as a tanker is concerned, they
Alrighty.
just plain stink.
So you can see the difference here. We've got the little knob which will puncture the armor and the shockwave would go into the vehicle. This would do absolutely nothing to a main battle tank. I don't even know if it would detrack it. Looks about the same size as a 40mm. And the other thing too is apparently shooting these rifle grenades out of the rifles would literally dislocate people's shoulders. Yeah.
I'd rather be in a straitjacket with a wildcat than be inside the box with those things coming at me. They bore through and splash hot metal all over the place. And they'll do that to any damn tank they've dreamed up so far. You guys have got a grenadier.
Look at the difference.
That's a lot of grenadiers, if anybody should ask you. You grenadiers, wait until you see the whites of his eyes, like the guy said. Then pour it into him. That'll knock out plenty of them. But there's still plenty left.
That would probably not even knock out
there,
our up-armored vehicles, to be honest. Pop up.
Thought that guy was a goner, didn't he?
Nope.
He wasn't worried. He knew he had a good foxhole, but he's mad now. See what he's got there? Molotov cocktail. Light the rag, heave the bottle so it busts on top of the tank.
So here's a story for you. Molotov cocktails, it's still pretty effective if you hit them in the right spot. I actually did some training before Solomon Islands, or East Timor, where we got Molotov cocktails thrown at us. My cereal, though, went a bit tits up and I was engulfed in flames. Second degree burns, and yeah, it was pretty funny at the time. But interesting that Molotovs can still do this. Hit it on the air vents. Yeah, crazy. I mean, you see it in Ukraine, they were using the Molotov cocktails against modern vehicles. Pretty inexpensive weapon to demobilize any vehicle, I guess.
This is what you get. A little piece of hell on the outside, and on the inside, a lot of barbecued heinies. See, the burning gas pours through cracks and crevices in the tank. 9 times out of 10, it'll find oil or grease or more gas inside. And if it does, well,
beautiful.
Take a look inside. Okay.
What's up, Tanky?
You know how to crack a tank. Remember, you're not Superman. You can't stop a tank with your bare chest, no matter how much hair you got on it.
I might be able to.
It takes good common sense, and it takes guts. The one thing not to do is to run. Because if you do, brother, I'm telling you, you're a dead duck. Now get this, because I'm not going to say it again. First, make that tank button up just as far away as you can reach him with your small stuff.
Right. 1. Make the tank button up. 2. Let me see if I got this right. Fire at his peepholes. 3. Rifle grenades. 4. Let them roll over you and throw Molotov cocktails at them and hope that works. Okay, that's how you crack a tank, guys. In World War II.
Rifles, machine guns. Keep working on the vision slits and the periscopes.
I was right.
That's all he's got left to see with. And if you smear these, he's going to be as blind as a bat.
That's something that is still very relevant today. Artillery.
Third,
HIMARS.
when he gets within range, pour your anti-tank.
Break your shoulder.
Don't waste them. Don't let him have them.
Alright, see? Okay. So you just see there, I have to go back. So I was paying out how to break your shoulder. You see he's put the rifle butt up against the back of his trench. Because, yeah, they were notorious for hurting, breaking, bruising, dropping, all sorts of things, these rifle grenades.
Don't let him have them until you're sure you got him. His armor is thinnest on the sides, so try and get him there. But these grenades will bore through him no matter where they hit.
That's nuts that they could do that.
When he comes within throwing distance, buy him a drink. Sure. A Molotov cocktail. And last of all, get this. A battlefield is a hell of a big place, and you can't see the whole thing. Maybe all you'll see are the guys right around you.
Alright, so that's another advance that we've made. They have, I can't remember the name of the system, but they have a system, if anyone's played Squad or anything like that, they've had a system where they've got a system in these modern vehicles, Bradleys, Bushies, Abrams, all Lavs, that shows the battlefield in real time. It's actually really cool how it works. So it's not, you don't have to look, you don't have to make sure that you're advancing in a line with the tanks. Yeah, so I've come a long way with tank warfare, and I think we saw how not to use tanks in Russia. I still think they're very valuable, but yeah.
Hell of a big place, and you can't see the whole thing. Maybe all you'll see are the guys right around you. Riflemen, just like you. Don't get the idea that you're out there all alone fighting this war by yourself. You got a lot of stuff pitching for you. Big stuff. Just because you're playing the line and can't see the backfield doesn't mean it isn't there.
Because half the time they probably didn't get it.
And it's fighting for you all the time. Artillery, anti-tank guns, mines, planes. Don't forget you've got tanks on your side, too. In case I forgot to tell you, we're a hell of a good outfit. You do your job.
And I'll do mine.
Take it from me, the rest of us are gonna do ours. Your job is to knock out any tanks you can and keep yourself from getting killed. Then, when that goose-stepping infantry comes up...
Goose-stepping infantry?
Don't forget that. Your big job is to tear that infantry apart. Well...
Finish that beer, mate.
If you don't mind, I think I'll have another beer.
Oh, another one.
See you guys in Berlin, if you can keep up with the armored force.
Oh, righto, mate. I'll outmarch you. The end. Alrighty. So, what do you guys think? It's... Obviously, we've come a long way. It's a shame that we only come long ways after wars. It's a bit interesting how far we've come from World War II, though. It's not that great amount of time. You know, a 40mm grenade, basically. I think they were actually 30mm rifle grenades, anti-tank grenades, but that would probably not do much to any vehicles today. We've got cages around vehicles now. We have reactive armor. We have projectile defense systems. A tanky I was just speaking to was saying that Abrams can be going at about 75 kilometers an hour with their turret facing left and still take a target out from a good kilometer away. I forgot how far he said. My experience with killing tanks, I never killed any, but I was on exercise where I was part of a hunter-killer team, and the tankies basically told us that they're not anything other than a javelin or an NLAW. We're not going to take them out. We might detrack them with the Carl Gustav, but yeah, even the Gustavs would take a couple of rounds to take out a tank. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you want to see more of these old training videos, let me know. I reckon it's funny to take a look back and see how far we've come. But yeah, hopefully my first video back was okay. I didn't know much about tanks. I did consult a lot with a tanky named Beefy, so props to him. And yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. Join the Discord. Hit the subscribe button for me. We've got to get to monetization so we can start making some money for veterans in need. For Veteran Game in Australia, I decided to put the funds towards basically that they aim to get veterans consoles, PCs and stuff, so they can join in this community that we have. But yeah, until next time, guys, stay safe and stay frosty.